Howdy, and welcome back once again to Common Sense. You know, Mr. Obama has been our president since January 20th. It's now, what is the date today? Oh yeah, it's now April 11th, or now it's April 12th, 2009. So far, all I've seen him do is the same liberal left-wing crap that every Democratic president and every Democratic left-wing liberal congressman and senator has done since time immemorial, since I can even remember. And you know what really makes you mad? They're not paying attention to the dangers that he wants to pull out of Iraq. Well, that's all well and good. Let's get Iraq, let's get the people in Iraq all set up to where they are willing to fend for themselves a little bit and things of that nature, yes. Let's not just leave them high and dry, though. I don't think that would be right. In fact, I think that would be very wrong. Another thing that, he wants to negotiate without any preconditions with somebody like Ahmadinejad in Iran or Kim Jong-il too in North Korea. People, do you realize the danger there? And we're not even, we're still talking about a nuclear danger. Do you realize that Iran has even stated so much as they are willing to use a thermonuclear weapon to cause an electromagnetic pulse? Do you know what an electromagnetic pulse would do in the United States? Take a nuclear weapon, detonate it 50 miles up. It doesn't have to hit the ground. If it hits the ground, of course, you'll have an electromagnetic pulse, all right, but it'll be only in the immediate blast area. But if you detonated it, say, 50 miles up, say, over Kansas or Missouri, well, just to give you an idea of what had happened, every bit of electronics that we pretty much depend on for our daily lives would be lost. I mean, especially stuff that's hooked up to a source of power. If it's got power going to it, it's fried immediately. Now, we're talking about the entire United States, not just one small area around Kansas or Missouri or Colorado. No, we're talking, if they detonated a nuclear bomb 50 miles in the atmosphere above these United States, the whole country would be in the black suddenly. Your cars will not start because they depend on sensitive electronics. Some antique cars might be able to get started, or older cars that don't require electronics to keep them going. Your TVs will not work. The entire electrical grid would be fried. Parts of Canada and Mexico would also be greatly affected. Are you understanding now that Alaska and Hawaii would probably be the only two states left with any electrical power? And what could they do for us? They wouldn't be able to do anything to help us. I'm sure they'd want to try, but what could they do to help us? They wouldn't dare come down here. They wouldn't dare come into the lower 48 and try to help, because by the time they get here, society would have lost its veil. I mean, you'd have no law enforcement. Absolutely no law enforcement. It would become a no man's land. I'm sure in various neighborhoods, you forget the larger cities. You're going to have people killing each other in the larger cities. You're going to have people killing each other to get out of those larger cities. Would I be optimistic about anything like that? Well, yeah. Yeah, because there are people that are a lot more resilient than that. There are people who are true Americans. They're not dependent upon the government for their welfare. They're not dependent upon Uncle Sam for every little thing or every little scrap of food they get. So yeah, you have people out there that can hunt and can fish, and people that can grow food. So yeah, if you had to skin a rabbit, or if you had to skin a chicken all of a sudden, hey, if you're a city dweller, you're kind of out of luck there, bud. Maybe you ought to think about that. You know, the Bible makes it clear that in the latter parts of the tribulation, you know, toward, I guess the second half, that the world will be, you know, thrown into absolute and utter complete darkness. And the sun will not shine, and the moon will not give off its light at night. And I'm just wondering, would it be because there was a series of electromagnetic pulses that went off as thermonuclear weapons were detonated in the air over various parts of the world and just literally, you know, sent everybody back to the Dark Ages? You see, the technology you depend on now, when you sit there and you play on that computer, do you ever stop to think about what if you didn't have that computer anymore? For some people, that would be a major, major loss. Come to think of it, for me, that would be a major, major loss. But you see, I grew up without it, so to grow, you know, I know what it's like to be without it, and if you have no need of it, then it's not really a big deal. But see, when it becomes an absolutely needed thing, it becomes a big deal. Common sense says the government, our government, who's sworn to uphold and you know, the Constitution and protect and defend the Constitution of the United States, should be looking into this. Looking into the idea that maybe there's a way around. You know, maybe there is a defense against an electromagnetic pulse. Maybe there is a defense against thermonuclear weapons. Maybe you want to think about that. Until next time, let's let common sense reign, shall we? God bless.